So welcome to the Stronghold. We're going to cover some items that will get you oriented to the Stronghold, how some of the interfaces work, and what you can be looking forward to. When you first appear in the Stronghold, you will typically come in at the signpost. On later occasions, once you've been into the Stronghold, you may appear actually inside the Stronghold. So just be aware of that. This is the signpost. The signpost, of course, will give you your overview where you can travel throughout the realm. Nothing special. As we move up over the bridge, you'll see the seneschal. The seneschal will give you introductions, okay? You do not want to start any stronghold siege events. We're trying to avoid those. Those are PvP, and typically they're time consuming, wasteful, and it is the game's way of getting your crap torn down with people blowing up everything and then you having to rebuild it and put more time and everything into it. So stay away from these, please. This is your fire where you can invoke. As you move in to the left, this is your stronghold management or master of coin. The master of coin will have several missions. All but one of these will typically be PvP. We want to avoid those. We don't want other groups coming in, blowing up our structures and tearing everything down. It's just, again, a waste of time until you get up and you get like several thousand members and alliances and all this other crap. Banners is PvP. Storming the castle is PvP. Fight to the finish is PvP. Occasionally you will get another quest in here. In this case, we have Well of Dragons. I have to go to the Well of Dragons, complete 3 quests. When I come back, I will be given some Adventurer's Shards of Power and some personal gold. The Adventurer's Shards of Power will then, if the coffer is not full, you can place that into the coffer. We're going to move over here. Stronghold Management, again, the Steward. He is going to give you some basic overviews and things like that. Moving clockwise, we have the Ranger. The Ranger and these others will start giving you quests that you do within the Stronghold area or the Stronghold map. In this case, defending the Stronghold. He wants me to do 3 heroics within the Stronghold. Be very careful about this. In most cases, new people can fight their way through the basic mobs. You need to be at least a higher level item level to get and be able to complete the heroic solo. I normally suggest getting some of the people together, running them. It's much faster. You can complete them much quicker and get back to your business at hand. Keeping the peace. Kill 100 enemies. Anything that you kill, any quest that you do, anything like that within the Stronghold that defeats any enemies goes toward this. Then we're going to move here, the cleric. Again, the cleric is going to give you some quests. These are basically revolve around random dungeons. So here, complete any random queue that's of any level. This one is an advanced queue. There is no expert queue. It's only advanced queues. Now, those you would hit your K key, you would come into random. You could do a random trial, an advanced dungeon, a skirmish for the second one. Any random dungeon will do for the first one. Advanced, trial, and these are for higher level gear scores to, there we go, 25,000, 30,000, okay. Moving right along over here, we have the Traveling Wizard. Just ignore the signpost, that's for the guild operatives to do structures and so on at this time. Again, this guy is going to give you a matter of dragons and dragonflight. You can read the information. Do not do a matter of dragons. okay? Because that is just, again, just problems for us long term. You can do the siege training. That's just a little solo thing to introduce you to siege warfare, which we are not doing at this time. Then moving right along over here, we have the builder. Again, the builder is going to give you various quests to do within and with outside the guild map. Like this one, they want you to go to Protector's Enclave and recruit some workers. Now, that is most of your quest givers. Now we're going to look at some of the booths. Moving over here, barmaid. This you'll be able to you'll get some quest in the stronghold initially. Go taste this food, go drink this, whatever. This is, you can come here and buy the food. All items in the stronghold use guild marks. Guild marks are achieved by placing items into the guild coffer, which we will get to in a moment. Back over here is our outfitter. Ignore the PvP stuff. We're not dealing with that. You can look at the PvE gear and the guild PvE. Again, everything is done with guild marks. This gives you access to, in some occasions, this gives you access to better gear. In most cases, once you've joined the guild, we have probably already put you up and gotten your gear score high enough not to worry about that. You will hear me say gear score a lot. It's an old term. It means item level. Here, you can get overloads for you and your companion. All right. These will expire over time. I typically do not use them. However, the overloads for yourself may come in useful. You get a maximum guild marks, you will notice down at the bottom, of 30,000, at which point you're wasting. So normally you may want to come in and get some of these overloads and use those when you're doing dungeon runs and such. Moving clockwise again. Here we have the general store. This is where you can buy all of your basic stuff. This is the one area that uses money and glory. We don't have glory, so we don't worry about it. And let's see. These are maps and so on. Don't worry about furniture unless you've just got a lot of guild marks to spend, because that's just deco stuff that goes into the stronghold. That is the basic wraparound. There will be other buildings and so on appearing outside the perimeters, but we've got nothing operational at this time for that except our production facilities. Finally, within the guild, just as a reference point, that's the front of the guild right there where you come in. This is the cleric. You're going to go to the left of him and up these stairs. This is where you're going to find a mail courier for your mail, your personal bank, and a guild bank. The guild bank, we currently have 2 tiers. Repository 1 is where people are putting stuff in, and guild members, depending upon their level, will be able to pull items out. Repository 2 is only for the guild trainers. This gives the guild trainers access to all of the enchantments and so on in order to help build your character, especially for new players coming in. We want to try to get your gear score up enough to where you're competitive with all the old time people. So this is where we will come in. We will help you sort your character, cover different aspects, and help gear you up if it is needed. But regular people will not be able to pull out of there. Enchanting stones, marks of potency, these are items that you will need over time. You will get different shards. You need 10 shards to create an enchantment. Most of these are either for weapon enhancements or for armor enhancements. If you find one that you like, do your research before you pull it out, please. You will then, depending on however many's on here, have to add the rest to get to 10 shards in order to activate it before you can put it in your gear. That leaves us in the center, the guild mimic. The mimic is typically always hungry. This is where you will donate all of your various stuff. I tell people your best bet is just do not show current, just show possible. This will tell you what you can put in. If you put your mouse over, you will notice we're at 10,000, so we need another basic 18,000 or 17,600, at which point the profession's supplies will be maxed out. Do not, if you're a new individual, do not worry about astral diamonds unless you've got a certificate. All right? Because you're going to be needing those to get your stuff in order. Treasures of Tyranny is typically from the Well of Dragons series. You get, also we'll cover that when you get into Well of Dragons, if you've not already been there. This shows, you'll notice here, we're not possible means I don't have any heroic shards of power. That means that it's filled. There are some areas where basically, let me find one. I'm not seeing it. We just did some construction, so everything's being chewed up. There will be some to where it's only like 1 or 2 points away from being full. But when you try to contribute, it'll tell you that's too much. So don't worry about those. Just worry about the ones that say show possible, and then contribute accordingly. Now, sometimes this will take your items and give you nothing, so be sure to read before you donate that you're not just throwing stuff away that's doing neither yourself nor the guild any good. And that is the basic intro for the interior of the stronghold. Now we have production facilities that are outside the stronghold that need to be tended. We ask members when you're playing, every once in a while, check in and see if any of the items need to be tended. These will be items in purple: the lumberyard, the farms, the mines, and the quarries. We will be adding other content as you go, so you may find more buildings in here when you're viewing this than on this video. Right now we're going to go to the mine, and I'll show you how to tend and recover items to add it to the guild coffers. When you approach an active area, there's going to be a little glowing signpost. When you open, you'll see this is at maximum storage, so that means it's full. If the tend bar is active, you'll click tend. It will move those automatically to the guild coffer. So to upgrade this, we need another 1,000 stone. This will give you all of the percentages. Don't worry about this. This is for the guild leader to deal with. All we're worried about is the tend buttons. And so basically you just make a circle, cover all the areas. Sometimes they will be full. You cannot, if the tend button is not active, that typically means that the guild coffer is full, and so there's nothing, you could click tend all that you want, nothing's going to happen. See here? The 10 button is active, so we can move those to the coffer. That is the basic intro on the Stronghold. Welcome aboard, and be sure to jump in and out, take missions, do things, because we have to keep those coffers filled in order to continue advancing and leveling up the Stronghold itself. As we get the Stronghold built up, it will also then allocate, and you'll be able to pull boons and use boons for your characters from the Stronghold. So it is imperative that we get the Stronghold built up.